Hey guys, it's Grindtastic Games back again with another commentary. So, I'm gonna throw all the stuff out front real quick, and then I'm gonna get into commentary because this is my fifth time doing this, and I keep running out of time at the end. So, I'm using Tony Moe's Splinter Cell Sam Fisher loadout, silenced P2 pistol. I even had to uh, go back and uh, go back and unlock abilities for the P2. Like I had to do some grinding to get it. But I recommend that everyone does this. It changes the way you play hugely because you really have to outsmart someone. You can't just kind of outsmart them and win because you have a car or an alternator or a G2 or some weapon that kills in 3 bullets. With this, it's going to take 5 or 6 good hits to kill someone. So I strongly suggest it. It's definitely a different way of playing the game, and that's it as far as the loadout thing. Um, Go check out Tony Mo's Suppress Yourself video if you want to see like the details on how this loadout works. But I got this idea last week on Friday after I watched Butterbar's video about him going back to his high school reunion. The idea is that I this week's an exception, but I would come up with some sort of topic, family or whatever it is, and at that point I would share that topic, my discussion, my opinion, my experience with whatever it is, with you guys, and at that point I would have you guys, you guys would then have your comments in the comment section below, and other YouTubers would post their YouTube videos with that response. But with that, we would have the idea a uh, of a community discussion. I would personally, on my video, post or read off a couple of my top comments on my previous week's video, as far as I liked this video or this comment because this story is just hilarious, or this story is a lot like something I experienced with my family, etc., etc. And I would post and pin and read off comments that I found were good or heartfelt or whatever the case is. And then I would go on to the next week's discussion. But with that, it is what it is. Needless to say. So with that, I'm going to get into the whole discussion that we're actually even here for, which is like 10 years ago, where you were, how things were for you, and where you are now. And personally, I was 10 years ago, I was a junior in high school. I just started dating the woman who would become my wife, and I had friends from Butterbar's year that were leaving. Butterbar, uh, a friend of ours that always held huge, amazing parties every month, basically. It was a huge party with a couple hundred kids in it. Uh, and they were great times. But senior year was coming and whatnot, and I had been quiet for all this time. The only club I was ever really a part of was the robotics club for our high school. Um, which, by the way, if you are a nerdy kid that likes robotics, go ahead and do that. It's it's a fun club that has a a competitive every year. There's some goal, and you have to, build a robot that can accomplish that goal and everything like that. But um, it was a good time, but I was really, you know, introverted and I didn't really talk to people. So with that, the idea is that um, just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you can't have a good time. You know, uh, I was I was one of those weirdos growing up that I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and it wasn't be a fire. This is no offense to Butterbar or Neil Armstrong or Butter's wife or my cousin. But I didn't want to be a firefighter or an astronaut or a cop. I wanted to be an engineer. I was such a nerdy little dork, but since like third grade, I wanted to be an engineer because my grandpa was an engineer for the post office, fixing all their uh, their mail equipment and whatnot. And I always wanted to like make things move and work together. And it was just the way that I was. I was a dorky little kid. So at this point, I was looking at engineering schools. I was doing advanced mathematics courses, taking calculus and stuff like that in high school. I was a huge dork. That's all there is to it. But the idea is that I was I was a dork, but I knew what I was doing. I knew what my plan was for my life, and uh, I really it could have it could have been better for my personal life. Let's just say that. But anyways, so with that, I had my plan, I had my approach that I wanted to take and where I wanted to be. But the idea is that you don't always land where you're planning. Um, for example, I wanted to be an engineer. I went to a very expensive, very tough engineering school here in Missouri, uh, Missouri School of Mines slash, um, what is it now? Missouri University of Science and Technology, Rolla. Uh, anyways, it's something that I was literally building my life around, but I was I was not. I didn't end up doing that. I ended up in. So everyone knows, I ended up in high school, uh, or not in high school, in my freshman year of college. I ended up finding out that I actually liked programming more than I liked engineering classes. So what ended up happening was I, you know, went and I switched majors from mechanical engineering to a computer science degree. I ended up switching schools to a school that was a third of the price. I went from a 20,000 a year tuition to I think it was like 5,000 a year. Like it's way cheaper. But uh, you know, I did have scholarships, so that helped. But still, it was kind of this idea that I was able to completely shift my life from what I was expecting and where I was planning and come back to this completely different lifestyle, this completely different where I would be at the end of the road, you know. I switched over uh, to what I do now. Now I'm a web developer for a travel company, and I do all this stuff. And needless to say, it's fun, but it's not where I thought I would be 10 years ago. And I'm sure that Butterbar has the same ideas, and I have these questions about it. So to kind of wrap it up, I'm not where I thought I was gonna be. I'm at a very different place. I like where I am though. It's not like I thought I would be a millionaire and now I'm just a grunt at a workplace. That's not what it is. But um, you know, life is a huge, huge thing, and sometimes you'll get what you're planning on, other times you won't. But so for the community part, I want to know, where were you 10 years ago? Where did you think you would be now? Are you there? Did you find yourself somewhere else? And if you're younger, uh, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Do you want to be a game developer? Do you want to be a YouTube personality? Do you want to be a a a developer? What do you want to be? Just leave it in the comments below. Tell me your stories or your plans. I would love to see them. Also, tell Jaredude, Tony Mo, and Iniquity, hey, this community commentary thing that Grindtastic is doing. I want to hear what you have to say about your 10-year plan and everything. So with that, share it, spread the word. I would love to see your comments, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.